Hi, good morning, traders. Welcome back to the live room. Almost missed the bell. Kids are out there fighting about stuff. How's everyone doing today? Give me a second. Let me get my another computer crash right before the live room started. So everything went down, of course, in typical Akil fashion. So let me get that up, and we will get going today on a summer Thursday. Oh, forgot to put man, I don't have the YouTube up as well either. So sorry if you're watching on YouTube. Let me do this. I can do it here. I'm unprepared today, guys. Sorry, that crash right before everything started kind of messed me up. But let me get my backup recording going. And then I'll get a YouTube up so I can check out the comments over there. Then we shall get rolling. But thank you as always for joining me. Got some sad news this morning. Richarlison looks like he's going to be sold to Spurs, which I'm not excited about, but I knew it was coming, so I'm not too devastated. And at least it gives us some money that we can now operate in the markets with, or in the markets, I guess the transfer market with. Okay. So we do have some news on the radar for today. We've got PCE coming out we only got GDP coming out for Canada at 8:30, but our 8:30 slew of news, which is typically when it comes out around this live room time, the 8:30 session is the major news. Most of it, some of it during 10 o'clock as well. But we got, PCE coming out as well. That is an inflation-related news event, probably the most important inflation-related news event. So this is one that the market will be paying attention to because inflation is the hot topic issue right now. Everything is moving around that. So the market will be paying attention to that this morning, as well as the two ones that are in yellow, personal income and personal spending. Now, this is a good example because a couple weeks ago, we had a conversation about fundamental analysis. We even turned it into a podcast. If you want to go back and check that, about how to learn about fundamentals. And kind of my approach on doing it wasn't the kind of go to school and read books. It was kind of use your hands-on personal experience. And this is a perfect way to track. It would help if I started recording as well. Keel, one of those days. This is a perfect way to track what news is affecting the market or isn't affecting the market. So what effect that news has on the market. So keep an eye out for 8:30 this morning. We're going to hop into the charts today, and we're going to go to my trade of the day. Not a lot out there today, but we're going to go over to Aussie Canada, and we're going to go to Aussie Canada on the daily chart. Again, just give me a second to kind of reload everything I want it to reload, because we are dealing with, I dealt with a crash right before everything got started. So give me a second here. All right. So we've got, no, not Aussie Canada. What was it? There we go. New Zealand, Canada. That's what I wanted. Let's go to New Zealand, Canada here. So New Zealand, Canada, we have an interesting situation here. On the daily, we have just retested previous structure lows. We have done what at those lows, guys? Have we held those lows or have we violated those lows? We have violated those lows. Yep. We have done a lower low, lower close. Now we violate those lows, but we haven't seen that much of a breakthrough, right? We technically broke and closed below, but we didn't really break out to the downside that much, right? So not a lot of conviction in the breakdown. Then we followed it up with two doji days, or one doji day and a doji day right now, which is a sign of indecision. So the market is kind of making up its mind. Now, per our rules, we have to assume that price is likely to continue lower. So we do want to ask ourselves the question, if price continues lower, where are we likely to go to? The answer would be, well, we're kind of right at our recent structure lows already. So the thought process that I had this morning as I'm looking at this is that, hey, Obviously, we weren't looking at this yesterday because of that break. This could be a sneaky situation for a reversal to happen. And as we go down to the 4-hour chart, we've got a few things happening. Well, on the 1 hour, you'll see there's an advanced pattern formation. On the 4 hour, you'll see that this is the previous structure low that was broken. We came back up, we retested that level, we held here as well, and now we're pushing down. So one of two things could be forming here, right? We could be forming a level of consolidation where it ends up being like a low and tight flag, or the market may be running out of steam and we may be seeing some type of reversal. And it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts right at this current level. Now, you guys should be able to see the bat pattern here. If we look at our most recent move down, swing high. Sorry about that. Swing high to swing low. You can see 50% hit right there. Nearly missed the 618, but there's no nearly. Either it hits it or doesn't hit it. We then get a retracement right here for a B to C leg. It does not pass the A leg, which makes it valid. And then boom, we'll move right up to our 886. So nice little bat pattern here inside of consolidation. Hey, that played out nicely, and the market's working right back down to that B leg. Now, following up on yesterday's conversation, we spoke, I think it was yesterday. All these days are blurring together. But I think we spoke about, we had a nice conversation about missing targets by 1 pip and making adjustments and stuff like that, and how pattern trades are a little bit more difficult to do that because they're Fibonacci based. This is an example, again, of a bat pattern where we spoke about the bat pattern is probably the one advanced pattern that I trade, at least, where you could essentially have the same result if you're making a structure-based target instead of just a Fibonacci one, because genuinely the B leg is a lot more shallower, you know, with the maximum range being the 1618 or the 618, excuse me, and the minimum range being the 50% retracement. So it's a good example of that. But you also see this B leg represents a structure swap, right? So this B leg was a previous level of structure that was tested here and ultimately broken, right? After that level of support was broken, price retested it, this time from the other side, acted as resistance. Resistance held, we broke above it. Now we're testing it again, and we're waiting to see if this will once again act as support. If this does act as support and the market refuses to go lower, right? What will likely happen is that, and again, sorry, my thing is lagging today because of all the stuff I had to change in the background last minute. If we hold this structure, we're likely to come back up here. And this is going to put us at a very interesting decision point, right? Why is this a very interesting decision point? This level right here. What will this tell or not tell us about the market? This is basically, rotation and trend. You can look at it as a rotation and trend in the normal terms. You can also say, hey, this is the shoulder line of a, or neckline, excuse me, of a head and shoulders. Again, whether you want to call it a double-headed head and shoulders or not, if you're looking at it on the 4-hour, probably more head and shoulders like than the hourly. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't really matter what you call these things as long as you know what the important part is. So if we can violate these highs and as well as get back past this little junk right here, then there's a good chance that we're likely to go higher. And again, keep in mind, this is all based on that higher time frame level of structure at as well, right? So now the question is this. Well, if we're likely to go higher, I'm going to zoom back out to the 4-hour. Where are we likely to go higher to? Shoot me some levels that you guys would be interested in. And again, apologies, YouTube. I don't have my laptop down here today. It's up in my my office, so I can't read your comments. Can't put it on the main computer because that slows everything down. But if you leave a comment under the video, I'll go back and address it afterwards. Could you please throw some light on gold for a swing trade? I cannot. I'm sorry. Here for the live stream, we only do one trading opportunity for the day. So I try to keep it consistent, just out of respect to the premium clients that I work with over at Tier 1 Trading. So I apologize. We just do one. If you want to join us in the live room, feel free. You can do that as part of your trial membership, or if you want to shoot me a private message or something like that, I can try to answer it that way as well. But for the live stream, I try to stay consistent. Just do one opportunity for you guys. That way it's fair. Bobby says, I do appreciate the question, though. I mean, I'm already long. I just wanted confirmation. Yeah, that doesn't change anything. It's still I'm still only going to look at one deal here. Let me ask you this question though. What would you do if I said I don't think gold is going to be long? What would you do if I had a prediction that said I think the most likely scenario with gold is that we're going to go short? We'll pause the technical question for a minute because this interests me. It should interest many of you as well. I know what you're thinking. Live rumors, I know what you're thinking. Don't say it. But what would happen if I said that? Just curious. If I took a look at gold and I said, oh, short for sure. Definitely. 100% sure. Even though we're never 100% sure of anything in the market, right? The market does what it wants when it wants. But let me know how that would affect you. I think you know better. No, I don't. How would that affect you if I said that? Would you exit your trade? Would you lose confidence in your trade? Would you gain confidence in your trade? I remember there are times here in the live room we've gone through these massive losing streaks, and you gotta joke around about it because when you're losing, right, there's no sense of just like making yourself depressed. So you just joke around with it. So you guys typically joke around whenever I'm on a losing streak. You're like, okay, Akil, we're just going to do the opposite of whatever you say. I'm like, hey guys, I'm looking to get long euro dollar. And Tony comes in like, all right, everyone's short. So you got to have fun like that. So here's the thing, right? My analysis on the market, right? So if you're already in a trade, and this is assuming that you're trading the right way, and I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't assume that. Maybe I should. I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. If you're involved in a trade, you're involved in a trade because it met all of the plans, all of the rules in your trading plan. So if I were to ask you, you're long on gold, did it meet all of the rules, the written rules in your trading plan? Yes or no? That's the first question I always like to ask. The first question I'd like to ask is, do you have a trading plan? The second question is, did the opportunity on the chart meet all of the rules of your trading plan 100%? Hey, welcome. First live room. Awesome. Don't be shy. Feel free to ask questions. Not too much happening in the market today, so it'll be kind of a slower type of pace, which will be good. But the first question I like to ask is, do you have a trading plan? The second question I like to ask is, does the opportunity meet all of the rules within your trading plan? I am not so professional. I just try to play between support and resistance. Okay. So my suggestion would be this. My suggestion would be to exit the trade immediately. Now, for you guys listening in the live room, and you notice, right? Why would I say that? Why would my suggestion be to exit the trade immediately? Well, the answer is because, if you have no rules, one, you shouldn't be trading. Two, it's considered a bad trade. But if you have no rules, how do you know that you're trading with an edge? How do you know that? And the edge is your statistical advantage in the market, right? So the edge is basically like the casino. The casino has a statistical advantage in every single game that it operates, which means that bigger picture, it's always going to win as long as people continue to trade or play the casino games. As traders, we want to do the same thing. We want to trade with a statistical advantage in the market. So whatever we're trading, whether it's support and resistance, trend continuation, patterns, trends, you name it, could be Deutschian channels. What matters is that what we're trading has been tested, right? Testable, verifiable, repeatable. Those are the 3 rules. They've been tested and proven to have an edge in the market. That's the only way we're going to have confidence in that what we're doing is actually going to make us profit. If we haven't done all of those things, if we're just trying to, and I don't mean to poke fun, just using an example, if we're just trying to play between support and resistance, but we don't really have any rhyme or reason, we're doing nothing but recklessly gambling. Because I would ask you this, do you know that your trade has a statistical advantage? And the answer is going to be no. The other thing is going to be the consistency, right? If you don't have rules, how are you expected to be consistent in the market? So that's why, if you're ever in a situation, and this goes for anyone out there listening, where you're entering a trade and you don't have a trading plan, or maybe you have a trading plan, but the situation doesn't meet the rules of your trading plan, you should exit right away, because what you're doing is you're gambling and you're not trading. And you're not professionally gambling, right? We can fight over the words of gambling. Gambling isn't necessarily a bad word. You're recklessly gambling. You're just throwing money at the market in hopes that it gives you money back. And most of the cases, it never will. So my suggestion would be this. One, the first thing you should do right now, if you haven't done already, exit the trade. Because you are in a trade that you don't know if it has a statistical advantage or not. So you're at a lot of risk, and I know most people won't do this, right? I say it, but most people never do it. You're at risk of losing your money for no reason. The next thing I would do, and this is going to depend on your skill level, is if you're skilled and you know how you want to trade, you spent time in the markets, you know how to read a price chart and all that fun stuff, start putting together a trading plan. And we know there's a whole process of doing that, but to keep things simple, put together a trading plan. Once you put together a trading plan, test that trading plan. Let the data show that you have a statistical advantage in the market, that you have an edge. Once it's shown you that, get some practice. Go demo. Make sure you can execute live. And then after you've done that, only after you've done that, then it's time to trade live money, preferably with a small account, only a fraction of your account. So those would be the steps that I would take. Because if you don't, I can tell you how it ends, because I've seen this with many traders. I've seen this in my own experiences. You're just going to lose money, and then you're going to lose time, right? You're going to lose money, and then you're going to lose time, because then it's going to take you more time to reset, figure things out, or save more money and go back in the market. So the best scenario you can have is just cut your win or cut your loss right now, whether it's up or down, doesn't matter, and start and get on the right track. And don't waste any more time, don't waste any more money, and do things the right way. People don't like hearing it. And I get labeled the bad guy whenever I say it, guys, because it's not what you want to hear. But guess what? I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I don't really care about that. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. And I'm very confident in saying it, again, because not only have I gone through it myself, but I've worked with thousands of traders who have gone through it. And I've seen what happens when you make the right change. I've seen what happens when you continue to do what you continue to do. Orsi says here in the chat, how do you know if you're doing it correct every time? Exactly, you don't. It reminds me of, the casino is probably the best example, right? And I always like the game of craps because it's a crapshoot, but blackjack's another good one, right? Any game of like chance. If you're doing random things, right, you're going to get random results, right? That's why when you go to a blackjack table, there are rules of when you should take hits and when you shouldn't take hits, based on what you have in your hand, based on what the dealer is showing, right? Because you're playing the statistics, you're playing the probabilities. If the dealer has this set of cards, right, you assume they have their uncovered card is a 10, right? If the dealer has that set of cards, the probabilities of you winning is this. So you got to be more aggressive. Or if the dealer has this, the probability of you winning if you have these type of cards is more. So you want to hold. And then you want to be consistent in those actions every time. If you're doing crazy stuff all the time, right, you're going to get crazy results all over the place. So I understand, but I can't lose this. I am really feeling guilty. Okay, why can't you lose? And I'm sorry for kind of delaying this session, but this stuff is important to me. So I know there's people out there that don't like this, the get to the chart type people. But sorry, people, you don't understand what's really important about trading. I had a guy yell at me the other day. But yeah, let me know why you can't lose it. Answer that question. It's very important. I had a guy yell at me the other day, guys, because he said, Akil, your videos suck because all you do is analyze the markets the same way and talk about the same setups all the time. I smiled. I was like, yeah. I'm like, that's the greatest comment you could ever give me. Thank you, man. Thank you. Went to my wife. He said I was consistent. I was consistent. In 10 years of videos and I'm consistent. Yeah. Right? Right? Clearly, but clearly that person's here for entertainment. Clearly that person comes to the videos for the thumbnail, right? Clearly that person comes to the videos for brand new Forex trading strategy. 99% accurate Forex trading strategy. Never seen before candlestick pattern, right? The entertainment. There's a big difference if you guys are new. There's a big difference between the entertainment trading world and the real life trading world, right? You guys ever watched The Wolf of Wall Street? That's not how it really works. But that's fun, right? That's fun. What's going to be a better movie, The Wolf of Wall Street, or where there's a party in the office and drugs all over the place, or me sitting in front of my computer saying, didn't get the entry signal yet, just waiting another hour, and then coming in the next day and do the same thing, right? So I get it. But yeah, it was funny because you can tell right away, that many people just have the wrong idea about what trading is, and we all started there. I think we all started with kind of that entertainment aspect. We wanted action. This is new, bright, and shiny. And as we spend more time in the market, we realize like this is just a numbers game. It's a business. Same thing like with like a car. Like we all get sold over the big fancy car, and once we drive it for a while, we're like, well, it's just something with four wheels that gets me from point A to point B. Like, why did I spend $70,000 on this car? Like, I could have got a $20,000 car that does the same exact thing. Like, it just it doesn't do anything special. It doesn't transform. So, biggest compliment I got. So back to the question, I said, why can't you lose money? I actually made a handsome money the other day using the same strategy. Okay, that means absolutely nothing. So because here's the thing in trading, right? I'm going to spill the beans, right? You can either be right or wrong. There are two options, right? You can do the wrong thing and still be right and make money. You could do the wrong thing and lose money on any given trade. You can do the right thing and lose money. You can do the right thing and make money on any given trade, right? Any given trade is a complete crapshoot. It's random. You never know. Bigger picture, though, that's when the probabilities show their true face. And bigger picture, if you're just being random, those probabilities aren't going to be in your favor. So just because you made money with the last trade doesn't mean you're going to make money with this trade. You could have done everything wrong, but just the market just happened to go in your direction for a million different reasons. So that argument is irrelevant. But a big red flag is this. I actually made some handsome money the other day using the same strategy, but now I got some debt to pay by the 5th next month. So you're trading just to make money to pay off debt. Bad idea. That is no different than someone that's in massive debt. So they go down to the racetrack and they bet on some horses to try to make up the money so that they can pay the debt off. You're just going to end up in more debt. You're just going to end up in more debt. Because back to the original premise, you're not actually doing something that you know will make you money long term. You're not. You're closing your eyes and you're throwing money at the wall and you're hoping it works. You're just going to end up in a worse situation. Bigger picture than that, we know that money is probably the most emotional driver that we have in the world, right? You got money, you got religion, you got politics. These are all big emotional drivers, right? We know that in trading, if you want to be a consistently profitable trader, it means two things. One, you have to have a strategy that has an edge. Two, you have to be consistently able to execute that strategy. And that means mastering your mind state, mastering basically what we call trading psychology, mastering controlling your emotions, not being emotionless, but controlling your emotions, because emotions run high during trading. If you're in a position, this is why we say always start small. You should, my mentor told me this. He said, Akil, you should trade so small that no win makes you feel excited and no loss makes you feel upset, because the amount of money is insignificant. It should feel like losing a penny or finding a penny, where like it's good. It's good I found that penny on the ground, but does it change my day at all? Not at all. It sucks that I lost a penny, but does it change your day at all? Not at all, right? So the emotional swing or tug is so minimal if you lose a penny, right? Now, if you lose $1, right? Probably a little bit more emotional, but nothing that changes your day. Would you guys agree? If you dropped $1 or found $1, it doesn't change your day too much, a little bit more than a penny. You keep increasing that number. Okay, now you find $5. Okay, now you might be getting a little upset, right? You could do things with $5, $10. Right? I lost a $50 bill the other day. I was mad. Wasn't the end of the world, but I was mad. Right? So those emotions will get heavier the more the money means to you. So imagine yourself in a situation where you're in debt, you've got a deadline, you've got the pressure of needing to pay this debt, and you have to win in the market now. You've got to win now. You got 5 days. Do you think you're going to be emotionally stable? Yes or no? Hell no. If you're not emotionally stable, are you going to be able to execute good trades? Hell no. Because I can tell you what's going to happen. Every time a trade goes against you, you're going to move stops back because I can't lose, I can't lose, I can't lose, I can't lose, I can't lose. Every time a trade goes in your favor, you're going to take profits early. Got to get the money, 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 right? And then what are you doing? Well, you're reducing your average win. You're increasing your average loss. It's the exact opposite of what we want to do as traders. We had this conversation yesterday after the live stream went off, right? Our goal as traders, right, isn't necessarily to increase our win percentage, right? I'll draw the little lines on again, right? If we have an initial, this is kind of we call it the next level of trading after you have your strategy and whatnot, right? If we have, I can probably just use the risk reward tool here, actually. If we have our average risk reward looks like this with our system, 1-to-1. Our goal is to, right, maximum favorable, maximum adverse excursion. Our goal is to see how can I reduce my risk a little bit on average? How can I increase my win a little bit on average? And overall, that takes us from a 1-to-1 average risk reward to a 1.6-to-1, which makes a massive difference over hundreds and thousands of trades. If we're doing the opposite, if we're taking targets early, we're reducing our average win. If we're moving stops back, if we don't go broke right away, we're increasing our average loss. We're doing the opposite. Now we have to win even more just to break even. It's the exact opposite of what we want to do, all because of those stinky little emotions that pop up. I hope this maps out like the issues that we're having with trading. This is that cycle that people get into, right? It's very similar to the credit card problem. And people thinking the way to get out of debt is to, I'm just going to get a new credit card and do a balance transfer. Then I don't have to worry about it. Well, you do 24 months later. when you get charged on that whole transfer, and now your debt just got even more. So many people think the solution to getting out of debt is I'm going to consolidate my debt. Like, well, no, it's your spending habits, spending and saving habits. That's you consolidate all debt you want. If you're bad at spending and bad at saving, you're just going to be in the same situation. You're just not going to see it for a year. Same stuff. So I hope that makes sense. I want to learn, but I can't get someone to teach. You got someone right here. Come on over. Tier1trading.com. We got a community, not just myself. You got a community of traders that are willing to help you all the way through. And they're going to be real with you. They're not going to let you slide on this stuff. They're going to be real with you. So my 2 suggestions would be that: 1, get out the trade right now. Get out the trade. Whatever you're doing, get out the trade. And again, I wish I had the YouTube up right now because I know the comments are over there. I apologize if you're coming into YouTube. I don't have it up. I had a computer crash right before we started, so I didn't have time to get everything situated. But I'll read through them later or just leave them below. But yeah, 1, get out the trade right now. If you're ever in a bad trade, exit immediately. 2, find a place that's going to teach you how to trade. If that's us at Tier 1 Trading, that's us, right? I'm a low pressure salesman. I don't really care if you come or not. It all depends on if our style meets what you want. But I would suggest you try it out. Do a 1-week trial or 2-week trial. Get on the platform. Check out the education. See if our style is the right fit for you. You mentioned support and resistance. My personal style is support and resistance trading. See if the community is the right fit for you as well. See if the support system is something that you're going to like. Some people love support. Some people get scared from it. I do think it's necessary. But that's what you got to do. So I would say this. I appreciate you being a good sport. It says a lot about you as a person to come here and be honest. It's very hard to be honest on the internet, especially when it's in an uncomfortable circumstance. So I really appreciate that. Yeah. And everyone, you can't see the Tier 1 chat, but they're saying you can as well. Fair play. Right. And hopefully we gave you some insights and some ideas on how to turn things around. But I can tell you this, in most scenarios, when we have conversations like this with people, they usually fight it. It's usually, I'm gonna do what I want anyway, because I know better. So the fact that you didn't say that you were open to like, hey, I know I'm messing up and I need help, that says a lot about your future success, because it takes that open and growth mindset, the ability to be taught, not to be stubborn and think that you know it all. And I was like that when I first started. I thought I knew it all. It takes that mindset to be successful in anything, because we never know everything. So I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining. We're gonna shut down the live. Oh, we didn't finish the analysis. Sorry. Sheesh. Bobby said 81 even. Sorry, we'll do this real quick. Talking about getting sidetracked. I would love to learn from you right now, but could you please do some analysis on gold for me right now? In fact, I want to learn from you, and that's for sure. No, I won't. You should exit. That's my analysis. Exit right away because you're in a trade that doesn't meet your plan. If I do analysis and it confirms what you're already thinking, you're just going to stay in the position. Come on now. I know the game. If I do some analysis on gold, and I told you why I'm not doing it anyway because of the live stream, but if I do some analysis on gold and I say, hey, I think we're going to go long, you're just going to stay in that position. I'm not going to support your bad habits. No. Not after the hour-long rant I went on. But I need it right now. No, you don't. You need to exit the position right now. I'm going to take back all the nice things I just said. You need to exit the position right now. That's what you need to do. But yeah, so this is an interesting thing, Bobby, right? So we got this level right here. This clearly stands out for me, right? This level that was retested basically 3 times, right? We came here, double bottomed here, and then came and tested again before breaking out. But you do have these interesting little wiki areas here in the middle too. So what I did this morning was I also took on our volume profile. I just wanted to see if there's anything that stands out between our highs and our lows here and where kind of that big number came in. And again, my computer's being dumb right now, but I'm gonna have to restart during our break. But the bulk of the volume came in right at this resistance level right here. So right around this level, this is going to be 181.06. Obviously, maybe not obviously, but you want to get a little bit below that, get to the psychological number 181. I think 81 evens is definitely a realistic place that we can look to shoot for. I didn't put in a fib this morning, but let me see. We're going to have a 3D2 right around that level. Yeah, look at that. 3D2 Fibonacci retracement right around that level as well. So yeah, we've got, you draw it on yourself, but we've got a volume spike right at this level. We've got an even handle number right at 181. We got a fib 3D2 right at 181 or 81, excuse me. One more thing we can draw in. If you want to get fancy, what's that one more thing, guys? One more time. Something we use when we have, imagine if we have a violation, what would we use, or what could we use to kind of anticipate where this violation will go to next? Yep, fib extension, but inverted, right? Fib inversion, because we're not going to be able to draw it from the latest extension, but we can draw it from our swing low to swing high here. It looks like it's probably going to be a little bit shy, or a little bit above, I should say, a 1618, but we'll see. Yeah, 1618 is going to be a little bit lower. So yeah, I think 81 is a good level. So again, we want to wait for the confirmation, right? We want to wait for the violation of this neckline, wait for the retest, and then boom, we can look for a continuation opportunity up to that 382. So hope you guys enjoyed, live streamers. I'm going to boot you off. Please hit that like button on the way out if you liked today's episode. I thought today was a good one. We